Hello guys, DJParson here and I'm back with another video of the World Championship. Sorry that I haven't posted in a little bit, but I hope you didn't miss it too much. I was down with the coronavirus. Maybe you can still hear it from my voice a little bit, but I thought it is time again to cover some great matches of the current stage, stage number 5, the first playoff stage of the World Championship. And yeah, we will take a look at the current standings. For that I have a new bracket that Payada provided me, which is great. So yeah, we have a lot of results already. If you hopefully watched Weidenbaum's game, you know that he was able to advance 3-0, and that is a theme here on the top. Sandhipper also has won versus Vivi 3-0, Lawang versus Shorty, and then we have one game, also or one match already finished, Vida versus PV4 3-1. So four groups left. We have Lemmings versus Megumi. We also already saw one of those matches. And then again, we're Silent are playing really slowly. A lot have already finished their games, and they haven't even finished a single one. We have Todd Silence versus Vanish Shadow, the first really close best of 5 that is going the full distance. So we of course gonna cover the last game of that when it's ready. We also have pigfans versus Vortex 1-0 at the moment, and we're gonna take a look at at the second game of pigfans versus Vortex. For that, let's check out the votings. We can see that pigfans has the advantage, 50% plus 18.8 versus 31. So yeah, kind of 2/3 are in favor of pigfans. But there's still some who believe in Vortex. So with that, let's jump into the game. And here we can see Vortex has the first turn, has grabbed Hammurabi already. What do we have? Library, Pyramids, Colosseum. We have Universitas, Zizka, but no Sun Tzu. We have Gutenberg, but no Shakespeare. We do have Bach, we do have Marlene, but no Joan of Arc. Suez Canal, but no Cook. Railroad, Hollywood. We have Marlene for that, but no no other leader for theaters for the Hollywood. And Project is also here, alright. So yeah, Vortex has taken Hammurabi. I would expect pigfans, Colosseum plus Alex maybe, or just the Pyramids. Alright, just takes the Pyramids. I don't know if I like that too much. Vortex can now just take the Engineering Genius and grab the library next turn. Yeah, he takes the Engineering Genius, builds one. Yeah, so he will also get a good wonder in the library, but maybe pigfans just doesn't like the Colosseum. There's also not the greatest synergies. No Barbarossa. There is Zizka, so you don't want that extra MA, but there's not that many MAs. At least in H1. There's Napoleon and Catherine. So I can understand wanting the Pyramids, but Vortex will still be able to grab the library next turn. Pigfans goes for Procrates. Probably standard stuff. Builds a mine, increases population. Yeah, the usual standard stuff. Vortex could push, but he has only one card. He will push that one. And Development of Religion, and both have a free worker, if I remember correctly. So he will take that. He will take the library. He was probably hoping for something else from the developments. He was probably hoping for a single rock, like crafts or trade routes or something like that. So he could have finished the library this turn. Like this, he won't be able to do that, but he will grab the drama and he will build a lab. So yeah, some people like to still build the lab. I probably would have skipped it and started building on the library instead and save that one population for somewhere else. But he will build the lab, he will also grab the drama, and then probably finish or try to finish the library next turn, but he doesn't have the rocks quite yet. Pigfans takes the free religion as well, will build a lab, and then breakthrough. Okay, skips the knights, but against Hammurabi you don't really have to be careful with those. Development of settlement. So again, no rocks to finish the library. Vortex will go for irrigation, will go for knights. Develops the irrigation, can upgrade one and still, okay, I like this. I like the early irrigation here. He can then finish the library next turn. even has one more civil action. He could use that to build the first stage. No, he wants he wants Nostradamus. Knights and Nostradamus. Okay, okay. Pigfans grabs the engineering genius. He grabs the monarchy as well. And the swordsman, just grabbing cards this turn. Not having corruption, so he can do that and then finish the pyramids next turn. Alright, works for me, works for me. He is searching for a new leader. Maybe that's one reason why Vortex wanted to deny Nostradamus here. Because Pigfans with Hammurabi, I mean, there's Leonardo. Maybe he will go for Leonardo. There's also a printing press, so who knows. Vortex will start off, even finish the library this turn. Can then maybe grab a rich land. Yeah, that one is good. And an urban growth. Okay, so he still wants Hammurabi, doesn't want Nostradamus. Maybe he doesn't have anything to push. That is not the easiest transition from Hammurabi to Nostradamus, because you don't draw that many cards, not that many events in hand perhaps that you want to push. But at least he has the library, so he can keep one more card in his hand. Not relevant right now, but if he waits one more turn with Hammurabi, he can keep one more card in hand. Pigfans goes for masonry plus the pyramids. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people currently in the current meta are favoring the masonry quite a lot. It's supposed to be pretty good, and he was able to save one civil action here. He has quite a lot of science, and I could see him go for Leonardo here. There's the alchemy, and there's the other alchemy in the deck as well. I think I probably would go for that. Alternatively, yeah, wait one turn, I guess, and go for another leader. He will be an extra farm, okay, and then probably is gonna go Zizka. Yeah, he's preparing for Zizka. And also like that, he has the extra civil action from the pyramids. We'll get extra MA from Zizka. Don't know if he still plans to go for the monarchy, if he has the full, or not the full set, but if he has 5 and 3 in the actions. Vortex upgrades one more irrigation, so he has a lot of population. Will then go for one diorama already. He starts the culture production, grabs an alchemy, increases population. Not too sure about the alchemy. I guess the problem is, do you really want frugality instead? But I don't think alchemy is great. He doesn't have that many rocks, and he will have a lot of population, so upgrading alchemy doesn't really make most sense. So maybe it should have been frugality. Maybe that could have given him an extra bronze. If he can still go for iron. There's still both iron in there. So we will see if that will work or not. Currently not too amazed by the alchemy. Pigfans goes for Zizka here. Alright, as we predicted, or as we saw it coming. Not really a big prediction. He does go for the Universitas. And then one reserve. So with the Universitas, he will get his science up. I like that. He can once again use the masonry. He doesn't have any urban buildings yet, so he won't be using the cost reduction from the masonry. That's where the alchemy would have been great. So maybe it was also a denial. Vortex denying the alchemy because it would have been too good for Pigfans. Maybe. But I still think the Universitas is a much better solution for Pigfans, so he should be glad that he has that instead of just the alchemies. Alchemies would have worked as well, I guess. So Vortex, he will be able to go for iron this turn. I think he will do that. Even gets the development of market, so he could go for 2 iron upgrades. He will take the rocks, will take the iron, and then go for alchemy. I didn't see that one coming, guys. I didn't see that one coming at all. And I disagree a lot, I would say. I don't see a reason why you would favor science this turn instead of rocks. Because what do you do with the extra science next turn? I mean, maybe you can go for code. But I would have liked the iron much, much more. He would have been able to go for iron. Upgrade to this turn and then have extra rocks and then go for alchemy next turn if he still wants it. But he was on 3 science production. Maybe it's just my playstyle that I don't like too much science production early on. But I think there's a big reason, because more rocks next turn would have improved his next turn a lot more than the extra science. And then it would have been steamrolling into more science and so on. So just prioritizing rocks over science at this point, especially with his population. He will have a lot of population, and without rocks they don't really do much. So I think my problem here is in general, first food, then science, and then rocks is for me the wrong kind of order. If you want to go for food first, then next you will need the rocks, in my opinion at least. But we will see if it will work out for him. Some people really like to play with a lot of science. I'm not one of those, but it can definitely still work. So I'm not saying that that he can't make that work. We will see. Pigfans will draw 3 extra cards, or both of them will do that with the development of politics. You will be able to finish the universitas, go for the monarchy, increase population, probably still an iron, and then probably cultural heritage. No, irrigation. He still wants the irrigation, sure. His production isn't the highest, but he has a lot of civil and military actions. So yeah, we have kind of very different kind of civilizations. Pigfans with the not bad production with this universitas, at least he has good science and he's ready to upgrade the rest as well. But right now he doesn't have the best production, but he has a lot of actions. Vortex has pretty good production, but no actions. So we will see which one will prove to be better, at least in H2. So H2 will start now. Pigfans, of course, gets 1 yellow cube back. Vortex opens the inhabited, and Pigfans is able to win it for just 1 warrior. That is great for him. This probably means he can... I mean, maybe he will skip irrigation completely, but this is great for him. Vortex now goes for the iron. I see what I mean here. Like, he could have had it the other way around. The 2 extra signs that he generated last turn is not being used at all. Like, the 2 extra signs just sitting there. Sure, it will at some point maybe come in handy, but instead he could have had extra rocks. And that could have been maybe 1 extra upgrade. At least now he goes for the iron as well. He can grab the rich land and then probably the code. I guess it will work out fine. It's not the biggest difference, because now he can go for the code next turn thanks to the extra science and use the rich land to save some rocks. So it still works. So not the biggest deal. Just felt very unnatural to me. So he will draw only the 1 card. He has played his tactic. Pigfans opens new deposits, so that's great for Vortex. If that is played by Vortex, that would have been 1 more reason to definitely prioritize the iron over the alchemy. Pigfans will go for iron now, can upgrade 2 of them. So he's starting his production, grabs a breakthrough 2. That is great. Such an early breakthrough from H2 is pretty strong. And he will build 1 warrior. I mean, he's looking very fine as well, especially with that population boost from the inhabited. Also making his 3rd farm a lot more efficient, because now he still will get a lot of extra population. Can skip the irrigation for now, maybe go for it later. There also was a possibility to go for Machu Picchu, but he decides not to do it. It would have worked quite well with a lot of civil actions. He has the necessary text, but he decides no, he doesn't want that. Maybe it's too slow, maybe it's too late. This late Machu Picchu would have still needed a couple of turns to come online. And then maybe it's too late to just give the rocks and the food. And he wants to upgrade his stuff. And if he commits to Machu Picchu plus upgrading his stuff, that's most of H2 just upgrading his production when he probably wants something different. Knowledge of the Ancients opened by Vortex, and we see a Cornmon showing up. Yeah, it's a tough position for Vortex, probably. But he can go for Code of Laws and grab the Corn. I think he has to do it, kind of. Goes for the Code of Laws. Will not grab the... Will? Maybe he still has 3 civil actions. No, he will not go for the Cornmon. But he will go for the Machu. And here I don't know if I like that. I mean, he doesn't have the rocks to finish it next turn. And he does... I mean, he has 1 Code of Laws. I think his production is good enough already. So I don't know if I like the Machu Picchu. I guess it is an okay one, and he won't take that long to get it online. And it's something to do, but he also has population, so I don't know if he needs a wonder here right now. Pigfans goes for journalism and denies the conman, of course. We have sufficient upgrade. Will increase population. So he wants to go for journalism. What leaders do we have for that? Newton, I guess. That's the only one I can think of here. So, I mean, he has a lot of population, he has a lot of rocks, and he still has the masonry. So journalism's for 7 rocks. And not really cheap, but it's okay. So next turn he can develop the journalism, upgrade 1 iron, build a journalism. Yeah, that will give him more science, a lot of culture. So I think I like that. As you said, he wants to do something else besides just upgrading his production. And he will still be able to do that, get all the iron. But I don't think he should go for irrigation this turn or anytime soon, because he has enough population. At some point, maybe he can go for the irrigation to still upgrade his food production. But right now, he doesn't really need it at all. He doesn't need more population than he has right now. So how will Vortex respond? He will upgrade 1 iron, will increase population, build a drama, and then, okay, now he has enough rocks to finish the Machu Picchu next turn. We'll grab cavalrymen and denying the other one. So pigfans will be left without any cavalry, without horses. He will, if he wants those, have to wait for the tanks. So I like that, denying the cavalrymen. He hasn't committed to knights yet, so you can easily grab the cavalryman. So yeah, really like that. He saw the opportunity to deny the second one, or the second one will be gone. So yeah, I like that quite a lot from Vortex. Pigfans will open the pestilence. I mean, not the biggest problem for either of these guys. They have a lot of population. And then Pigfans will indeed go for the journalism, build 1, probably upgrade the iron. Grab reserves and then maybe another breakthrough. No, goes for irrigation. Okay, okay. I mean, he still would have had enough food next to an increased pop, so he has 2 population. Now he will have 3, I guess. He just doesn't really have the rocks to build that many journalisms, but I guess it works. I still would have preferred the breakthrough. Or maybe navigation and something. But he decides to go for the irrigation. Okay. I mean, with losing 1 population to pestilence, maybe it's okay. So, good harvest. Okay, more food. 4 and 4. Vortex will grab the architecture. Oh, that is great. Go for architecture, finish the Machu Picchu in 1 civil action. And then grab rifleman. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have any upgrade yet. He will get the rifleman for 1. Quite often that is very contested, but at the moment the military game in this this match is basically non-existent. We have some moves like going for the military techs right now, which Vortex is doing a very good job in. But no one has researched anything yet. We have very low strength, very low commitment to military, so I like that from Vortex, that he is preparing and he's playing the slow game, or the future game. The rifleman and cavalryman, he doesn't need them right now, but it gives him a very good position for military in H2 and 3, or most in H3, because H2 is almost over and we still don't have any military. So yeah, Pigfans will go for opera. So he definitely looks like he wants to make this culture race. And then it might be very important who gets Bach. It could be one of the most important decisions in this, or maybe not even decisions, but outcomes in this game. Vortex has the culture lead right now. Pigfans will go for the cannon as well, develop those, or maybe no culture game. He will build a cannon. Increase population 2 times. And that's it. Okay, okay. But there is Napoleon, so there's potential from Pigfans at least. Vortex, though, will open the wealthy and is able to win it himself. That is not bad. A lot of extra rocks here if he finds a way to spend those. Could go, oh, he does go for Maria, so maybe we won't have a culture game. And I think I like this decision from Vortex. He has the culture lead. He has the culture production equal to his opponent. But he has more production. If he escalates this into a military game, where his opponent already started a little bit, which I think is a little bit weird. but Vortex responds definitely correctly, using Maria to get even more rocks to go for military. And then if this becomes a military game, his culture production and his production lead in general with the Machu Picchu will probably come out ahead. Biggest problem for him, no military actions, only 2. So I guess Napoleon could have worked as well. But yeah, this does come down a little bit to the decision not going for Cornwall. He would have enough science for it. I guess he still has to hope for strategy. But the civil and military action especially are looking still pretty bad. We will see what he does. He goes for a rifleman. We'll build one. Okay. Build another one. When he even has the problem, he can't build more opera, so he can't really make this a culture game without having the option to go for more dramas. He will get stronger here. Pigfans grabs Bach for 3 immediately, goes for him. We'll go for the opera then. Okay, so the culture game is on. 10 production from him. And that's it. So yeah, Vortex won't get the extra rocks for or from Maria. Pigfans goes up to 10 culture production and can easily go higher with philosophy to opera next turn. But he has to be careful. He didn't grab the wave. He doesn't have any extra rocks besides the 1 reserves in his hand. So yeah, he has to be careful versus Vortex, who has 8 production, has Maria, has a lot of military techs, will also get cannons. So he might even, Vortex will have the option to go for all the H3 tactics as well, if he hasn't grabbed one yet. So Vortex will grab, he will go for the Republic. Okay, gets the strategy as well. Has grabbed that one, yes he does. Can then build 1 drama, so he keeps up with the culture. Grabs frugality as well. But yeah, frugality works great with Maria. So yeah, it always hurts a little bit to go for the super late H2 government forms. But I think I agree with his decision to go for it. He needed to go for the strategy anyway, and then it is a pretty good combo with the Republic. Biggest problem is, even with the strategy, he will have 4 military actions. That is not that much to really pressure your opponent. And your opponent has Bach. So the culture game, yeah, you're ahead. Culture production is still relatively close, but versus Bach, that won't stay that, at least for long. So yeah, there's some problems here, mainly the military actions from Vortex. If he had more, like 1 or 2 more military actions, this game would be looking very good for him, I would say. But like this, we will see. Pigfans will rebuild, yeah, rebuild 1 more opera. Can even build 1 more if he wants to. No, builds a journalism instead. Grabs the wave, that is a good one. Grabs the efficient upgrade. At least Vortex will be able to get the patriotism. So that's something at least. Yeah, but with the wave, Pigfans has quite a lot of rocks, so I don't know what the military plan from Vortex is exactly. If he has a war that he wants to go for, if he has a tactic. But I would guess that he has a tactic with going for the rifleman. But we will see. So Pigfans draws his first H3 cards, and Vortex will now push. Okay. Barbarians, but that doesn't do anything. And there, look, military buildup and patriotism on the row. Vortex kinda has to, I mean, it depends a lot on how or where he wants to take this game, but I think definitely the patriotism is super important. He has to also go for the strategy to draw more cards. We'll go for 1 rifleman. That means he will also, yes, to develop the strategy. Yes, he does that. Will then not grab the patriotism, grab the cannons instead. So he's going all out military, and yeah, he says, I don't need the patriotism, I will have enough, I can get more strength from the Manhattan Project. The patriotism would have been great for a war turn, but he decides cannon is more important, so probably means he doesn't have a tactic yet, and he needs to draw an H3 tactic. He still has a lot of time, and he can go for most or all of the H3 tactics. Okay, now Pigfans does skip his politics phase, will go for civil service. I mean, he has very good science production. Probably has to grab military buildup and patriotism here, as well as the Air Force. Okay, yeah, with that, he's pretty well prepared for war from Vortex now with wave and military buildup and patriotism and air forces. I don't know if Vortex had to deny at least the military buildup, maybe also the patriotism or something. I mean, yeah, he has the rock production lead. He has a lot of rocks in his bank as well. But pigfans now does too, with the military buildup and wave. That is so many rocks, 14 rocks that he has extra now. So it will be quite easy for him to catch up in military if he has a tactic, but probably has one. And then with the air force, his military will also be quite efficient. He will go for one cannon here. Does also show his tactics, so he has the fortifications indeed. So with that, he can go for air forces. He also destroyed his last warrior because his biggest problem is also military actions. But now he can go for air forces and 2 more cannons next turn to defend the war. So he is just preparing for that. He's producing 15 culture versus the, let's see how much Vortex has. 8 production and 87. So he has still a slight lead, but that won't last for long. We will see emigration, and actually both of them lose 1 population. Not that often that you see emigration hit them this late, but they haven't fixed their happy faces. Vortex will then go for movies. Oh, he doesn't want to go for military anymore. Goes for movies instead. Upgrade 1, another one. Grabs reserves. Okay, so he probably hasn't drawn a tactic or hasn't drawn a war. He sees that pigfans is ready to respond to a war with the wave and military buildup. He will go up to 12 culture production and then probably has to hope to keep his lead. Biggest problem that I see is this Manhattan project. He won't really be able to get a lot of culture from that. And there is Hollywood. So when Hollywood comes out, Vortex probably can't contest it. Pigfans would have a very, very good Hollywood. So yeah, now probably the most important part is when does Hollywood come out? And will pigfans be ready to grab it and ready to build it? First he will go for communism, or just deny it, or go for the next turn. We'll go up to 21 culture production. So he says, okay, my opponent doesn't go for military anymore. So yeah, I can go for more culture production, go for the opera, go for the journalism, hope to get the Hollywood even more. And then he even gets quite a lot of good yellow cards. Let's see what he will pick up. First of all, he uses the patriotism to build another cannon, urban growth, engineering genius, and efficient upgrade. So yeah, he still is ready with military build-up and wave plus air forces. And I don't think he has enough military actions to go for war himself. But yeah, Vortex probably has to finish the Manhattan project at some point, and then pigfans will be ready to still defend. So I like that. Keep building up the culture, be ready for war, and most importantly, be ready for wonder. And hope that Hollywood comes out in the right spot. But with the engineering genius, that shouldn't be the biggest issue. Vortex will just finish Manhattan project, getting 5 culture for that. Can he then also grab the Hollywood? Yes, he can. Alright, so that is his way to deny Hollywood. Just finish Manhattan project and immediately grab the Hollywood. Thanks to his big amount of civil actions and thanks to the architecture. Finishing the Manhattan project in just 1 civil action. And he can even grab reserves. You also that here, yeah. And with that, he will also be ready to finish the Hollywood at some point. Pigfans is still outproducing him quite heavily, so I would guess, yeah, here next turn, Pigfans will overtake him. Vortex has a tactic as well, by the way, but not fulfilling it yet, the defensive army. So with cannons, I mean, he doesn't really have the, I mean, maybe a little bit, but he's missing still the military actions to go for cannon. He can build 1, fulfill the tactic, but that probably won't be threatening enough. So how does pigfans now respond? He won't get the Hollywood. What can he do? He will use the wave, build another cannon, destroy a farm, build a religion, okay, go for communism, rebuild, okay, rebuild the religion as an opera. Was there a reason to do that? Like, couldn't have gone for... I want to understand. Why did he first build the temple and then upgrade it? Did he use the... Oh, no. Yeah. He wanted to use the efficient upgrade. Okay, now I understand. He wanted to use the efficient upgrade. And he could only do that with going for the religion first. Grabs an urban growth. So still 25 production. We might even... I mean, that might be too much for Vortex. He will still get a very good Hollywood, especially if he's able to grab Marlene. His Hollywood will be quite big. The question is, will it be big enough to make up for the 25 culture production from pigfans? Who will also be ready to go for the last wonder, which is the Empire State Building. But now let's see if Vortex... He's still stronger. We could also still get a good event, but no, we haven't seen a lot of pushing here recently. Only one impact in there. All the cards from Vortex, but he does not push here. He will upgrade one more movies. Goes for computers and reserves. There was a revolutionary idea. He could have gone for democracy. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what the computers are supposed to do, really. Maybe he just wants to end, but he could have done that without. I don't think he will go for those computers. He will go for a cannon, though. And that's it. So for him, sadly, Marlene didn't show up. Marlene would have solved his happy face and be quite good for the Hollywood. But Marlene will come out during pigfans' turn. So that is unfortunate for Vortex here. Because now she will come out. Pigfans can go for her and she fixes his happy faces. Alright, he will destroy another farm. Go for cannon to get stronger. Go for oil. Will even upgrade it, so probably... Oh no, probably for the Empire State. With that, he's ready for Empire State. He has more rocks, more strength, more culture, and more science. So he has a pretty great Empire State for his next turn. And with the Engineering Genius, that won't be a problem to finish it either. And Vortex now is looking at a lot of unhappy workers. Freedom of movement might help him here. But what does he do with that? Puts from iron to cannon. Okay, so he wants to make sure that he is stronger. Take away that from the Empire State from pigfans. Go for Steve Jobs. At least that will give him one happy face. Can even get more by going for... No, just the 24 from the Hollywood. And get one. I thought he developed the computers with Steve Jobs. He used the endowment. We'll get the Hollywood, so 168 plus 14. I don't know if this will be enough. His opponent has... I mean, he still gets his wonder as well. I think this will be pigfans' match. We have 2 impacts from Vortex, though. We can't forget about that. No impacts from pigfans yet. He won't push either. Okay, so he has no single good impact. Goes for Air Forces. Yeah, I think he can manage to still win that category. Thanks to that military buildup. And then 28 from the Empire State, so even better than the Hollywood from Vortex. So 171 plus 23. Destroyed another mine. Builds a religion, so plus 24 even. Yeah. So let's see the 2 impacts that we have. If they are super good, I mean, balance 4 to 10. And the last impact will decide. I mean, it is super close now. Yeah, pigfans had quite a lead before the impacts, but not that big, not even 20 culture. And now Vortex starts to catch up 10 to 4. And we only have 1 more impact, and that will decide it. If it's a 10er competition, 13 to 10. No, sadly not for Vortex. His impact that he had, his second impact, was not good. If that was... I mean, he didn't have any 10 culture swing impact anyway. He didn't have culture, science, or strength. I guess agriculture probably would have done it. Yeah, agriculture would have done it because he would have gotten the 4 extra and pigfans would have not. So I think that might have been enough. But yeah, interesting game. Very, very interesting and closely in the end. pigfans able to win his second match versus Vortex, so congratulations to him. And Vortex, yeah, nice try. Yeah. In the end, one biggest problem for him was probably Marlene, but there were a lot of single things that could have gone different. The one turn where he lost all of his military pressure, where he wanted to build up military pressure when he went for the Manhattan Project, but in the same turn he lost all of the pressure because pigfans got the military buildup and the patriotism, and you just can't really pressure someone even more who has wave and military buildup. If you really try to pressure them, and they have 14 extra rocks plus the patriotism, so they have almost 20 extra rocks that they almost got for free for just a couple of yellow cards. It's just not efficient anymore to threaten them because you have to pay real rocks and they don't. So I didn't like that turn too much. It was a super hard turn for him because both of those cards came out on 3 civil actions, and denying those feels really bad because you won't be able to use them, but still. Maybe it would have been needed to do because Vortex had the better production. If he wanted to go for military, he maybe could have done it if his opponent didn't have those extra rocks. I think it was the right decision after that to go for the movies, but maybe a little bit too late, or just Marlene. Marlene from the Hollywood would have been a lot of culture, from herself would have been a lot of culture, say, solving the happy faces. So yeah, Marlene probably decided a lot as well, and it was really close. So yeah, we will take a quick look what this means for the current standings. So I mean, it didn't really change much. We can see here now pigfans has 2 wins, Vortex still at 0. So he has to make a big comeback, and if not, we're looking at another 3-0 from the Chinese players. Currently, the quarterfinals are looking very much Chinese. Vida, Lawang and Sandapro. Weinbaum at the moment, the only non-Chinese player. And as we, I think, saw in the first game, the potential is there for a quarterfinals where Weinbaum is the only non-Chinese player. Lemmings has still the option, of course, to fight against Megumi and win. We have no idea how Enderwigan vs Silent is going, but yeah, Silent is super strong. Enderwigan also super strong, so I'm super excited to see these matches, but yeah, we have no information how they're going yet. And then there's still Todd Silence versus Vanish Shadow, 2-2, so our most exciting match, or the closest match at the moment. So that will, the result of that will also be quite awesome to see. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you had fun, and see you guys next time.